Hakodashim Shah Yahweh Shalom, Bahasham Yahweh Katawa, Bahasham Mashak Yahweh Shah. I want to say one love, one nation, one king, one gospel, one faith, one power, one spirit, one brotherhood, man. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Kal, Halal, Yahweh, Alanawa, Dawada, Yahweh, Bahasham Mashak Yahweh Shah. Okay? Bahasham Mashak Yahweh Shah. Much love to all the elders of Israel, doing a work in sincerity, humility, and meekness of spirit. Okay. Much love to all the sisters growing in truth and meekness. And if there be any strangers listening, you know what I'm saying? So this is going to be a video on an article I was reading from www.washingtonpost.com. It says U.S. owes black people reparations for a history of racial terrorism, says UN panel. So here it is. You got it at the UN panel. It says that black people should be paid reparations for a history of racial terrorism. And you know, me myself am a descendant of a so-called African American. Okay, and you know my ancestors were tortured and lynched, you know, maimed, boiled in hot cauldrons, you know, had their members cut off and burnt at the stake. That happened to my ancestors, you know, and being lynched, having your wife being raped in front of your eyes and you couldn't do nothing. You know, that happened to my ancestors. And I believe that black people should be paid, you know what I'm saying, reparations for what happened to our people. Yes. You know, it's only right that you pay black people back for all the murder and robbery that you committed against us and all the crimes and bloodshed. You know, not just black people, Native Americans, Latinos, you know, because the Latinos, you know, they're being afflicted just the way that Negroes are, okay, and the you know the Hispanics, the Mexicans, the Native Americans living on reservations, you know, um, you know, black people working and building up America, making America great, because America wouldn't be what America was without the slavery, the hardcore bondage that was placed upon blacks, just like ancient Egypt. Now, take away the blacks out of America and see how much money America would have. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, blacks should be paid reparations. You know, black people are very, very valuable, man. You know, and I believe, you know, so-called European, so-called white people should show your love to black people and pay them reparations, man. You know, now I'm not saying this is gonna happen or, you know, you would answer anything, but hey, the truth is the truth, man. Black people, you know what I'm saying, are at the bottom, man. You know, and if America can give Iran 400 million, and I don't know how much more million. I don't know if it was a billion or whatever. 400 million. If you can give Iran $400 million so they can help build up their nuclear missiles, but you can't give black people in the ghettos in America. You can't give them respirations. You know, better you know, living. You know, better water, which we know that's not gonna happen. But you know, better food. You know, not all that GMO. Take the Burger Kings and McDonald's out of our hoods and the dope and guns. There shouldn't be homeless people. But some people got messed up spirits too. But like, even the minimum wage. You can start off showing your reparations by raising the minimum wage. The minimum wage for a black man should be at least $35 an hour. Cause that black man be working, and don't nobody work like a black man or a Mexican, okay, or a Latino, okay. But that brother, you always see that brother in that job working, and nobody's helping him. Everybody else in the job can get help. But that brother, he don't get help, man. And you people see that, man. And that same brother is the brother who what I'm saying, is symbolic of who the world called Christ, man. Because nobody wanted to help him. And he always, what I'm saying, did the will of the Lord. And the Most High gonna help him, man. And that's how it is for black people. God has been our help, but the Most High is gonna put the Spirit on you people, man, to start helping our people, man. Because you did our people foul. Let's go. Let's read this article. I know I was ratting. We're gonna read the article a little more. It says slave shackles on display at the new National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington. Kevin Lamarck Reuters. The history of slavery in the United States justifies reparations for African Americans. And that's right. That's right. You know what I'm saying? There should be more food shelters for our people in our neighborhoods, okay? Giving us high quality food, vegetables. We should be able to grow gardens. You can give us reparations by giving us farms, letting us grow our own land, giving us the supplies to grow our own land and build our farms and things of that nature. How about you show your love to black people? This conclusion was part of a study. Okay, it says the history of slavery in the United States justifies reparations for African Americans, argues a recent report by a UN affiliated group based in Gen- uh, Geneva. This conclusion was part of a study by the United Nations Working Group of Experts on People of African Descent, a body that reports to the International Organization's High Commissioner on Human Rights. The group of experts, which includes leading human rights lawyers from around the world, presented its finding to the United Nations Human Rights Council on Monday, pointing to a continuing link between present injustices in the dark chapters of American history. In particular, the legacy of colonial history, enslavement, racial subordination and segregation, racial terrorism, and racial inequality in the United States remains a serious challenge, as there has been no real commitment to reparations. That's right, because black people built the White House. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get to have joy of that. Um, we built America up, man, making America great, and we're getting the lowest paychecks. Our paychecks need to be. We all need pay raises, man. Every African American and Negro descent and Native American Latino, we all need pay raises. Okay, there need to be more jobs out here. Okay, now the scriptures prophesy about the grinding shall cease, but you so-called European, you so-called white people, you Caucasian people of European descent, you have the ability and money to help black people. Okay, so why don't you show your pity for what your ancestors did by giving black people their reparations? Now we know, a lot of people is gonna demonize this and say, "Oh, the hell with black people and all that, and black people can go to hell." But you know, some of you so-called white people know that what your people did to black people was terrible, and you're gonna have to pay up, man. Okay, somebody gonna have to pay. You know, you gave Iran 400 million. So where's black people's reparations? Where's our paycheck? Iran got 400 million, and we in America building up this kingdom. We're your entertainment. We're all in the music, on all the TV shows. We need reparations. Okay, it says remains a serious challenge as there has been no real commitment to reparations and to truth and reconciliation for people of African descent. The report stated contemporary police killings and the trauma that they create are reminiscent of the past racial terror of lynching. Citing the past year's spate of police officers killing unarmed African American men, the panel warned against impunity for state violence, which has created, in its words, a human rights crisis that must be addressed as matter of urgency. That's right, man, because this is a serious thing. Like, black people are being gunned down and killed daily. Brothers is getting killed daily, and they don't even have no weapon, not even a threat. But here it is, Iran wants to destroy America and bomb America and screaming death to America, but your government gives them 400 million. Come on. Look at that. Is that the American spirit? The panel drew its recommendations, which are non-binding and unlikely to influence Washington, after a fact-finding mission in the United States in January. At the time it held to stride taken to make the American criminal justice system more equitable, pointed to the corrosive legacy of the past, dispute substantial changes since the end of the enforcement of Jim Crow and the fight for civil rights ideology, ensuring the domination of one group over another. Alright, said cultural rights of African Americans today. It said in a statement, the dangerous ideology of white supremacy inhibits social cohesion amongst the U.S. population. Then you got this video. Mrs. Meryl Fannin Mendes France, chairwoman of a United Nations working group for people of African descent, reads findings about institutionalized racism after an official visit to the U.S. In its report, it specifically dwells on the extrajudicial murders that were a product of an era of white supremacy. Lynching was a form of racial terrorism that has contributed to a legacy of racial inequality that the United States must address. Thousands of people of African descent were killed in violent public acts of racial control and domination, and the perpetrators were never held accountable. Sounds pretty familiar. Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Let's go back to that article. Thousands of people of African descent were killed in public acts of racial control and domination, and the perpetrators were never held accountable. Whose possessors slayed them hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. So, where's our reparations? The reparations could come in a variety of forms, according to the panel, including a formal apology, which we don't want that. Uh, we want our community to be better, man, and give us the technology and things we need, and crops. Give us our own land. Give us our own little place where we can have our own culture and serve our God. Which, but give put more money into the hood and stop putting all that dope in the hood. It says to be sure, such interviews are nowhere in the cards. It says a formal apology, health initiatives, educational opportunities. Yeah, like I mean, we don't want no scholarship or nothing like that because that's not really helping. That's not gonna help. That's not real reparations. We need money. Give us money to where we can invest in ourselves. No, in our culture. To be sure, such initiatives are nowhere in the cards. Okay. Okay, so that's it on that article. I think I read all I wanted to read out of there. Let's see what she said.
Contemporary police killings and the trauma it creates are reminiscent of the racial terror lynching of the past. Impunity for state violence has resulted in the current human rights crisis and must be addressed as a matter of urgency. Racial bias and disparities in the criminal justice system, mass incarceration, and the thought on crimes policy has disproportionately impacted African Americans. Mandatory minimum sentencing, disproportionate punishment of African Americans, including the death penalty, are of grave concern. There is a profound need to acknowledge that the transatlantic slave trade was a crime against humanity, and among the major sources and manifestations of racism, racial discrimination, xenophobia, and related intolerance, and that Africans and people of African descent were victims of this act, continue to be victims of their consequences.
All right, that's it on that. Good.
Past injustice and
Reparations for slavery is the idea that some of the compensatory payments should be made to the descendants of Africans who have been enslaved as a part of Atlantic slave trade. Let's go down here. It says in 2004, Lloyd of London was sued by the descendants of African slaves. The case was not successful. In Jamaica in 2004, a coalition of Rastafari movement groups argued that European countries formerly involved in the slave trade, especially Britain, should pay £72.5 billion sterling to resettle 500,000 Jamaican Rastafarians in Africa. The claim was rejected by the British government, which said it could not be held accountable for wrongs in past centuries. See that? They didn't do it. Shalom.